guys, my name is Dr. Chloe Costigan from Mobility Doc. So in this edition of Mobility Doc Does Yoga, for this month we're focusing all on the core. So week one we're going to dissect plank position. So for the triplet, you're going to first start with doing Brettzel 2.0 stretch. Then you're going to do scap push-ups to help to improve the scapular stability. Finally, you're going to do crab rocks. You're going to repeat that for a total of 3 rounds. After performing the triplet, then you're going to do plank. Let's take a look at the exercises for the triplet. My version of the Brettzel 2.0 is my absolute favorite stretch for the hip flexor and quad. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by sitting with your feet flat on the ground, hips are bent. Now, if I'm going to stretch this right leg, what we're going to do is we're going to first start by bringing the left leg to the left outer thigh down, and then right inner thigh comes down. Now you notice, like when I'm sitting here, I'm still kind of straight forward. What happens sometimes is people will bring this leg way back. I want to actually pretty forward because we're going to kind of create this like single line. Then I'm going to squeeze my glute right where my hip, right where my glute and hamstring meet. And then by squeezing this glute, that's what's going to facilitate a little bit of the stretch in the front of the hip. Then I'm going to come down on my left elbow. So opposite elbow. I'm going to come down, walk that behind me, squeeze that glute, press that knee down, and I should be feeling a stretch all through here. In terms of, sometimes when people don't feel that stretch, it's that they're too far over to the side as opposed to back like this. You're going to squeeze that glute, press that knee down, and then you should feel that stretch all through here. Scap push-ups are a great exercise to help to improve scapular stability and core stability. So the motion that we're really focusing on for this scap push-up is being able to be in this position. So I'm engaging my serratus muscle, meaning then when I'm here, I'll be in a plank position. I'm really trying to focus on this reaching out motion. So make sure first that you understand that I'm reaching out as much as I can without rounding my back, okay? Now, let's apply this to this scap push-up position. So I'm going to be here in a really good plank position. So back of the neck is long. I'm making sure that I'm in neutral position, so I'm not rounding, I'm not hiking my hips, I'm not sinking down too much. I'm in a really good neutral position. Then I'm gonna try to push the ground away and kind of hollow out my armpit and then come back to neutral. Hollow out that armpit, come back to neutral. So when I'm doing this though, when I'm coming back to neutral, I'm not letting anything sag. So neutral, push out, then neutral, then push out. Okay. Crab rocks are a great exercise to focus on glute activation as well as getting a stretch through the shoulders, and it reinforces a hip hinging pattern, meaning that you're keeping your spine stable and you're just moving from the hip. So to get started, you can play around with the position your hands are in. I'll show you a variety of ways. So I'm going to start first with my fingertips pointing out to the side. Now the setup is really important. So I need my feet about like hip distance apart or so. You don't want them too close, but you also don't want them too far away. So you might have to play around with it a little bit by doing a few trial runs. Now, when I set up, I'm going to try to lift my chest up as much as I can because this is going to be really helpful for making sure that I'm not just kind of rounding into my shoulders and then thereby like causing an issue in my shoulders in the future. So I really need to focus on making sure, it's almost like I'm trying to bring that whole part of my shoulder head back a little bit without bringing my shoulders up toward my ears. Lift that chest up. Then I'm going to press through my feet, and then I'm going to be moving right from this hip crease, right where kind of like my pockets would be. I'm going to press through my hands, so it's almost like I'm already starting to lift out. Press through my feet, come up, and then back down. I'm trying to focus on making sure that I keep my knees pointing straight forward, so I'm not letting them come out to the side. They're coming straight forward. I'm lifting my chest up, so I'm not letting myself round like this, and then I'm highlighting just moving from this, right from that hip crease. I should be firing right where the glute and hamstring meet. So for the triplet, you're going to first start with doing Brettzel 2.0 stretch. You're going to hold for 30 seconds on each side. Then you're going to do scap push-ups to help to improve the scapular stability. You're going to do 10. Then finally, you're going to do crab rocks, doing 10 of those as well. You're going to repeat that for a total of 3 rounds. The plank is something that we see so commonly in the fitness and wellness world as used as an exercise to improve core stability, also some shoulder strength, but so frequently we kind of like miss the mark on a few pieces. So I'm gonna kind of go over those pieces with you. So for the plank position, the most important thing is first starting with a really good setup. Start on all fours. Now make sure that your fingertips are like pointing forward or slightly out to the side. And now the position that you're setting up here is that you want to make sure that your shoulders are over your wrists. So you're not back like this. Your shoulders are over your wrists. You're pressing through your hands. So then already you're making sure that your shoulders aren't kind of sagging down like this. So I'm really pressing through my hands, keeping the back of my neck long. Now already in my back, I'm not overly arched, I'm not too tucked, I'm just in this neutral position. Then when I go to step this one leg back, I need to make sure, okay, now I'm staying in this position. I'm really already focusing on making sure that I'm pushing through these toes. Readjust, push through your hands, and then bring this leg back. Now, as I'm doing this, I'm really trying to focus on making sure my chin isn't coming forward, keeping the back of the neck long. I'm pressing through my hands as best I can without rounding my back or pushing my hips back. I also have to think about kind of pushing back through my heels as best I can and straightening my knees. You're going to hold for 30 seconds, take a 15-second break, and then do that a total of 4 times. Really focus on your technique as you do this. Give those a try, and then also make sure that you comment, like, and share.